Hello everybody, my name is Bruce Bernier, and I'd like to welcome you to the 2020 Film Production Showcase. This year, first semester, Film 2 was tasked with making documentaries based around organizations. Here are a few of them.
In 2018, the amount of people living in poverty was at a staggering 38.1 million, and in California, 5.1 million. What inspired you to create this organization?
Well, first of all, I don't know if you guys are aware, but 11%, that's the number, the statistical number that represents young adults in the United States that are living in either low-income situations or poverty, and that are disconnected from school and or education. And to me, any percentage is too high. Even 0.5% is too high. I think back to when I was 18 years old, graduated from high school, and I actually had a full scholarship to go to USC as an engineer major. And my life choices and decisions at that time weren't the smartest ones, but they were the ones that I made, and I gave up that scholarship and I got married. You've made this choice and you're gonna have to deal with it, but that doesn't change who you are. You still have the ability to go and make the future that you want for yourself. I feel like if I can help bring that to others, man, I've done my job. And that makes me happy. That makes me light up. So that's what inspires me.
Advancing the Seed has impacted 186 adults, 556 at-risk youth and young adults during the span of 3 years, while helping create 20 social businesses. When did you first decide to make this organization? What influenced you?
So I started thinking about the organization in 2014, the later part of 2014. I was doing community development work and I was helping other nonprofit organizations in other communities. And I saw that there was a real need to work with young people, really around helping them to learn leadership, but leadership led by purpose. So who they are, what they're purposed to be in this life, and whatever that may be. And that was one of the strong influencers behind starting the organization.
So how exactly is the organization run? How do you reach out to prospective adolescents? Where do you find them?
So right now we work more with young adults that are between the ages of 18 and 26. And primarily we work with those young adults that kind of have gotten, I don't want to say lost in some way, but something has happened in their lives and they've kind of gotten off track. Some haven't completed their high school diploma, so they're looking at becoming part of a program where they can work and get their high school diploma still. And we partner with other organizations. So currently we have a strong partnership with the California Conservation Corps. And we actually go out to their sites and work with their program participants. And it's about 350 young adults that we work with a year. And we do that a lot off-site. We have also worked with school-aged kids in the past, usually 4th, 5th grade. And then we've also had a couple of programs where we've taught entrepreneurship to middle school and high schoolers. But more recently, we've focused a little bit more on the young adults.
So primarily you're working with mindset, you're promoting growth mindset in a sense?
Yeah, so what we really promote is financial stability
Okay.
and alleviating poverty. But the way that we do that is through training and coaching around growth mindset. Because first, if you don't have a growth mindset and you aren't ready to open yourself up to receive opportunities, you'll never get there, right? So it starts with mindset. I start with looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And this is what I address with those that I work with. First of all, you've got to be in a good place. Like, we've got to get you to a place where your needs are being met, your basic needs are being met, and you understand that. Well, for those that know about the hierarchy of needs, you know that as you move up the pyramid, you're moving towards this place where you're thinking at a higher level, you're thinking in a growth mindset, and you're looking at how do I now not just take care of what's important to me, but how do I do something that goes beyond me?
How do you create opportunities for the youth?
Opportunities to me means that, first of all, you start to really tap into not just what you're told by society and everyone else is what you should do for your life and your future, but really tapping into what is it that you love doing? What do you get excited about doing? And then once you kind of understand that a little bit more, then looking at what do you believe? What are your values? What are those things that create who you are? And then taking all of that and combining it with entrepreneurship so that you can start a business, doing what you absolutely love, making money doing what you love, and then thriving in that so that you can do good things, not just for yourself and your family, but for your community and hopefully the world. My name is Regina Corona, and I am the founder and CEO of the organization, and it's called Advancing the Seed, Inc.
What is your name?
Devin Higa.
What kind of work did you do for the show?
I did ushering and concession.
How was your work experience?
My work experience was pretty fun. I got to meet new people. I got to direct people to their seating and serve them snacks.
What types of jobs are there?
The types of jobs are concessions, which is serving snacks, drinks, etc. Ushering, box office.
Do you feel like Mr. Johnson expanded your knowledge on what the Theater Guild does?
Yeah, Mr. Johnson taught me a lot, especially about making resumes and just learning how to speak louder out in public.
What is your name?
Roman Torres.
How do you feel while you're on stage?
While I'm on stage, it's a great feeling because you get that feeling of excitement and nervousness at the same time. Excitement because you're on stage having a good time and you're letting the audience know that you're having a good time. Therefore, they are also enjoying it. And nervous because in live theater, there is no pause or replay button. Everything is happening there right now. So if something goes wrong, then good luck fixing it.
How have you evolved since your first involvement in a production by the Theater Guild to your most recent?
Since my first production for the Theater Guild, I would definitely say that I have improved in every way. In acting, singing, and even dancing. I've just gotten better. Because with each show comes a new experience. And as you're doing the show, you learn something new. And it's just great.
How has it been adjusting to a new building and a new artistic director?
Adjusting to a new building and a new artistic director comes with its advantages and disadvantages. Such as with the new building, an advantage would be a larger space and new technology that can make everything better. But a disadvantage is we'd have to get used to that, and it's not the same as what we've been working with before. Same goes with the new artistic director, because we don't have the techniques and same experience as we had with our previous one. So there's definitely a learning curve when it comes to that.
Hi, I'm Zoe Kinney. What kind of position do you hold in the Theater Guild?
I'm the stage manager, so that means I make sure that the show from start to finish runs smoothly, and I communicate with the cast, with the director, and I guess I'm like a support base of the guild.
What is it like working backstage during the show, and what stresses comes with it?
Working backstage, I enjoy it a bunch. That's why I do it. Stresses that come with it is like you need to know what's happening at all times, because if one thing messes up, then like 6 other things can go wrong if you don't catch that mess up. So I guess having to know like what's happening at certain times is sometimes stressful, but in the end, it's all worth it.
How long have you been a part of the Theater Guild?
I think this is my 5th or 6th year being part of it. I started in 7th or 8th grade. I think 8th.
Have you ever made an error during a live performance? If so, how did you handle it?
Errors are super common, especially with me, and I should not be proud to say that. But if you make an error, you gotta like realize that you made it, and you gotta continue, and you gotta make sure it doesn't mess up anything else. Sometimes you can go back, like there's a go back button, or sometimes you have to just like stop what you're doing, like if it's a sound cue. Hopefully if you mess up, you hope it's not something super drastic that people don't really realize, but you have to be aware that you made the mistake, or else it can lead into another one.
In your opinion, what makes the Theater Guild so great?
I think Brian Johnson makes Theater Guild so great. He built a family and a base, and it's just grown from there.
Has being involved in the Theater Guild provided you any opportunities for the near future?
I know in the near future I'm helping out other like younger schools do things, but it's also provided me with insight on what I want to do in my future, because I know I want to stage manage or do something tech.
How has it been adjusting to a new building and a new artistic director?
A new building is super nice because it's not the lecture hall. It's big, and learning the new things is fun, but sometimes it's stressful because like I would get frustrated because we wouldn't have something that we have in the lecture hall. I wouldn't know how to do something particular because it's new. Adjusting to a new director. I've worked with other directors in the past, so it's not like extremely complicated because I've been prepared to work with other people, but it's different.
I'm Katie Christing, and I'm one of the captains of the Well-Behaved Villains.
Who are the well-behaved villains, and what do you guys do?
I would say that the Well-Behaved Villains is a family of kids from freshman to senior year, and we do improv together, and we kind of bond over our love for improv, and we just play.
What is it like managing the improv team as well as being a part of the Theater Guild?
I think it's such a good experience because if I think about when I was a freshman and the people who led me, I want to try and be the leader that I wish I had and the ones that I really look up to, and it's just a different experience of coming from both ends, especially in the Theater Guild, of people actually looking up to you. It's such a weird experience.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Stickle, and I am currently the Artistic Director for the La Habra High School Theater Guild.
When was the Theater Guild established?
So if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Theater Guild was established in 2011. Obviously the theater program existed before that, but the title, the Theater Guild, started in 2011.
What was your experience like when you were performing for the Theater Guild, and how has it evolved since?
When I was performing with the Theater Guild, it was all I wanted to do. I had so much fun. It was so exciting. I spent so much time in rehearsals and all of that. Back then, we were doing about 3 shows a year on average, and now I believe the Guild is doing about 8 shows a year on average. So in that sense, it has definitely evolved, a lot more opportunities for experiences for the students.
How has it been adjusting to being on stage to becoming the new artistic director?
So being on stage, you essentially are just in charge of yourself. You're making sure that you learn your lines, that you know your blocking, and you know everything that you have to take care of. But as the director, you're making sure the students know all of those things, but you're also making sure that you know what's happening with the lighting, that you know what's happening with the sets and what's happening with the props and all of those things. So it brings on definitely a lot more responsibilities in that regard.
What stresses come with directing a production?
I feel like it's just so stressful. I mean, like I was saying, there's a lot of responsibilities that you have to pay attention to, and a lot of things that you have to make sure are running smoothly and that are happening when they need to happen. So, I mean, I could list any number of things that you have to be stressed about, making sure that your set gets built on time, that your lighting plot is working, that all of your lights in the theater are working. There's a laundry list of things that cause stress.
How was it directing your first production, The Little Mermaid, and were you happy with the outcome?
So directing my first musical, and especially one on this scale, was definitely taxing. It was stressful, of course, but it was so fulfilling, and it's the kind of stress that I think is enjoyable in a way, because you know that the outcome is something really exciting and something really fun.
How many awards has the Theater Guild won, and were you involved in any of the winning productions?
I don't think I could count how many awards the Theater Guild has won. It's honestly uncountable, because there have been so many over the years, especially now that there's so many shows being performed. When I was in high school, we had all 4 years of high school, we won awards, which is exciting. But my freshman year, I know for sure we won Best Musical for Beauty and the Beast, and then my senior year, we won Best Musical for The Drowsy Chaperone.
How did you find out you were going to be the new artistic director and would be teaching and directing productions for the La Habra Theater Guild, and how did you feel?
So finding out that I would be in this position was a bit of a whirlwind, very unexpected, but definitely exciting. I am very excited about all of the opportunities, and there's a lot to live up to sitting in this position, because there is a caliber that has been set at this school and for this program, and so it does add a little bit of stress, but definitely very exciting.
Hi, I'm Mark Gillette, ASB advisor. Been the ASB advisor since 2012 and was senior class advisor before that for about 6 years. Advisors are probably working 10 to 12, 15 hours every week out of school for ASB, but it's fun. It's running all the activities at the school. Can be hard, but it's also fun watching everything come together at the end.
And why is it?
Why is it? It basically brings the spirit to the school.
Hi, I'm Ellie Marquez, and I'm this year's ASB Executive President. So I've been in ASB since freshman year. Well, I did it in middle school too, so it's just been something that I've learned to kind of love, and I've learned so much through it, so I really enjoy it. It's a challenge, to be honest, because there's so many responsibilities, and sometimes it does feel more like a job. Has been through a lot this year, and I think due to that, it's kind of taking a toll on the students. So I think this year, in particular, the hardest part has been trying to get more student involvement. So our number one way of getting 8th graders, especially, to get involved in ASB at La Habra is through our open house. So our ASB has a table set up at that open house, and we try to really come with a bunch of spirit to just kind of show what our ASB is all about. The best part of being an ASB is probably all the things that I get to learn from it, because it's not always really good and it's not always super bad, but you always learn from those bad things, and I've learned a lot of leadership skills, and I've made a lot of really good friends, so it's something that I'm really going to treasure.
Probably the most fun is seeing the students grow over the 4 years, if they're in ASB for 4 years. Watching them grow and learn and become more mature as the years go on? Well, memories, of course, because homecoming, prom, all the dances, the talent shows, the battles. Of course, dodgeball has always been strong, but it's the memories of all 4 years that they come back as alumni and remember those big events and big activities that we've done. Do the students make me proud? No, of course, yeah, they make me proud. Again, the goal is to see them grow and become leaders and find out what they're doing in the real world as leaders. Because I just got an email from a past student president where she's the leader, one of her top leaders at the school, university that she's at. So she remembers some of the things that we did here that she still uses at the college level. It is a tough job. Doing this senior class advisor for many years with another teacher prepared me somewhat for the advisor, but it's a lot of work. And trying to teach most of the day and coach in the aquatics and do ASB, it's almost, it's about 15 to 18 hours a day almost, 5 days a week. Trying to do all that. But ASB definitely, it's a year-round program. We have to be here all summer long too, getting ready for the next school year. But it's fun. It is a lot of work, but it is fun as long as the students make it fun. It is a lot of fun. Being able to work with these students for 4 years. But it is challenging at times. Like this week during homecoming, the kids and I will be here literally about 15 to 20 hours a day for about 4 or 5 days straight. And there's a lot of time out of school.
We pay no or too much mind into the world around us, constantly flooding and flushing out of what our brain is interested in. We move fast, and often we forget to take a break and look around from our obsessive desire of moving forward with ourselves. Although it's scary to speak, we often forget. Everyone needs help. Get help.
So, Alec, at this school, do you think it's easy or hard to get help?
I think it's hard to ask for help because you're putting yourself in a weak, vulnerable spot, allowing people to see emotions that you usually cave in. I would say to anyone who is thinking of getting help but is not sure how to get help or ask for help, I would say that getting help is the most healthiest thing you can do for your mentality. Getting help isn't a sign of weakness. You shouldn't be ashamed of your depression because getting help is a sign of you making progress and being on a better path. And it's just a sign of admitting that you need help, and there's nothing wrong with that.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Miss Kim. I'm one of the school psychologists here. We have another one here as well. We work a lot with students on an IEP, special education students, do a lot of testing, and I also work with some students for counseling, or if students are in crisis, we'll talk to them as well. So it's a little different in the school setting, where we don't really do therapy in the school setting, but sometimes students, if they are having a tough day with anxiety or depression, sometimes they'll come in and speak to someone. Some people, they might not think they need help. They might not see it as a problem. Others may just not feel comfortable, or seeking help sometimes is easier said than done. It can be you have to be vulnerable, transparent, and honest, and that can be hard for people to do that, or if they feel like there's not enough resources, or there's not any way that they can get help. So if that's how they feel, they'll probably won't want to actively seek out help.
Major depression is on the rise among Americans from all age groups. However, it seems to be in larger quantities among teens and young adults. As seen in this graph by Vox, U.S. teen and young adult suicide rates are highest on record, from it rising in the 1980s, from dipping all the way to the early 2000s, and then rising once again in recent times. In a similar graph, depression rates by age timed 2009 to 2017 shows a percent of population in each age group that has reported a major depressive episode.
Is it easy or hard to get help?
Personally, I think that it's hard to get help because when people are going through something, their first instinct is, let's see if we can try to survive whatever we're going through. They're not really thinking about other people or, hey, maybe this person can help or maybe I need it. They're just trying to get through it. I think at this school, or school in general, it's difficult to get help because you have a lot of peers around you, and just with all that attention on you, it's very difficult to speak up because all those eyes are on you. So for me, the way I found myself opening up to go out and get help, first I begin with my friends. I go through it, whatever situation it is with them. I kind of explain the story, and once I explain that story to them, I find it more comfortable to go to my parent and then ask them for their opinion on the matter. I feel like my mom in particular was a really big help in my life, because anytime I would go through something or would be going through something, she would always be there to give advice, because a lot of times just with older people, they've already gone through so many things that us as teenagers have gone through. So them having that wisdom, it's very easy, or easier for them to explain it to us and how to get through it. So yeah.
In the making of this documentary,